we go to section 2, when black men drown their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, actually, that was going to be the book at first.
Was it really?
Yeah, I had I live in New Jersey, so there were these 2 incidences, and they were very close to each other. And I had torn out a little thing from the newspaper, and you know how you're trying to write something, but it keeps moving around on your desk because you're not quite ready. You don't have that entry point yet. I had the one, and then the other one happened, and I was thinking, what kind of dysfunction leads a father to think of his daughter as expendable?
Right.
And I remember when I was growing up, there were no fathers in the home. They weren't there. A lot of that generation that had come up from the South, basically some fathers got into the city and went, boom, wow, what, you know, and so much so that I was kind of a freak when my dad still lived with us, and then when he moved and he came to visit every day, I was still kind of, your dad comes to see you, that kind of thing. And so I remember my friends pointing to that's my father over there, that's my father over there. And if there was a boy in the house, the father would say, my son, my son, my son, but the daughters were left to be raised by the mothers because that was best for them. And the father would come and buy clothes and be there at Christmas or something. So the fathers never thought of the daughters as being wholly theirs and needing guidance from a man. So I think that's where the seed begins, that the daughter becomes kind of a pawn and things. And if you want to hurt the mother, you hurt the child somehow. Not always physically, but you know. Right. So I saw it, and when I started thinking that way, it was just like, oh. So I was going to write a book about the various ways that fathers kill their daughters, and I don't mean physically all the time, but sometimes psychologically. And then, you know, I was thinking about the Midwest, where the fathers are marrying their daughters to keep them pure until, you know, and all that. But it was, talk about dark. It was just strange. It was just strange, you know. And so I held on to it for so long that the other work kind of came in and overwhelmed and overtook that. But I didn't want this to be a let's wag our fingers at white people who kill black people book. Right. And sometimes, you know, there's a poem in there which I think is wholly unsuccessful, but it's the sometimes we shoot into the mirror. You know, there are times, of course, where we hurt our own, and that's no, you know. And so that's how that segment came to be in the book. I still had questions toward the end whether or not it actually fit in the book.
I think it does. I think, and you know, I'm not going to do a spoiler, but I think the last line in that section is just absolutely devastating. And yeah, it so fits.
Oh, thank you.